Welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for daily videos on everything going on in the crypto space today. Make sure you watch the entire video. In today's video, I want to update you on the latest Bitcoin news, the latest Ethereum news, and the latest altcoin news, starting with our top story of the day. Breaking news. Grayscale has confirmed that it will file for a SPOT Bitcoin ETF. Let's find out the details. Grayscale Investment confirms it's planning to file an application to convert its very popular Bitcoin Trust offering to a Bitcoin ETF product. The approval of an ETF based on Bitcoin has been called a watershed moment for the cryptocurrency industry that will help legitimize the asset class among traditional investors. Unlike the recent ETF tracking futures derivatives, Grayscale would aim at an ETF that is physically backed, also known as a SPOT ETF. If approved, it would be the first ever SPOT Bitcoin ETF to hit the US stock market. This was the initial tweet from Grayscale's head of communications confirming this just today. I'm happy to confirm that Grayscale will file for GBTC to be converted into an ETF as soon as there's clear and formal indication from the SEC, and it was further confirmed on CNBC by Grayscale leadership. Listen to Grayscale leadership talk about how the SEC clearing the way for futures contracts will eventually lead, in all likelihood, to the SEC clearing the way for spot contracts, and about how spot contracts ETF, Bitcoin spot ETF, Bitcoin as an asset is actually uniquely better for a spot ETF than something like oil. Listen to this.
Our point of view on this, I've been on the show talking with you about this before. Certainly, if the SEC has cleared the way for a Bitcoin futures ETF, we certainly believe that because the futures and the spot prices are, of course, interrelated, and pricing has always been one of their biggest hangups, that it does now clear the way for the SEC to approve a physically backed Bitcoin ETF and give further validation to the industry. When there's a commodity like Bitcoin, which can be stored quite easily the way that something like gold can, it typically makes more sense for investors to access it through a physically backed product than maybe something like oil, which is perhaps harder to store. Thus, a futures-based product may make more sense for it. So it's too early to say, but certainly I think investors should have the optionality to access Bitcoin through both futures as well as spot. And so I know from my team's point of view, working on this for years, we stand at the ready to file for GBTC to become an ETF and bring yet another option for investors to be able to access Bitcoin.
So right now we just have futures interest. Eventually we'll have spot ETF, but let's check in on the futures interest. Bitcoin futures open interest hits record high on the CME. Open interest now stands at a record 3.6 billion for Bitcoin. Surely a good sign. So let's talk about reasons why we're bullish on Bitcoin. Let's talk about reasons why we're bullish on Ethereum and reasons why we're bullish on an alt season. First of all, Bitcoin. Reasons why I'm bullish. It's about to retake all-time highs. A Bitcoin ETF was just approved. Institutions have arrived. Bitcoin has gone mainstream. Adoption already hit 100 million plus people. I love this. Exactly this. If you just got into Bitcoin in the last 6 months, perhaps you don't realize how big some of these things are, but this is so different from every other cycle before it. So why am I bullish on Ethereum? I'm bullish on Ethereum based on on-chain data and data like this. ETH is going through a supply shock similar to Bitcoin, yet different. Ethereum reserves on exchanges just continues to decrease. Ethereum getting locked up in DeFi or in all sorts of things. ETH 2.0 deposit contract continues to increase. This supply shock is causing the ETH price to increase. In fact, speaking of the ETH2 deposit contract, total value in the ETH 2.0 deposit contract is now above 30 billion. Do you remember when this just started and now we're at 30 billion? This is amazing growth. So with ETH 2.0 just around the horizon, code should be ready around February 2022, merge on Mainnet June 2022 at the earliest. 2022 will be known as the year of ETH. I expect that money flowing into Ethereum flowing into the ETH 2.0 deposit contract will continue to increase, and supply of ETH in general will continue to be taken off the market, whether through fee burning, DeFi, or otherwise. What I'm expecting going into next year is, well, let's just think about this. Post-merge, after ETH is merged into ETH 2.0, all unburned fee revenue will go to ETH stakers. That's interesting. This is estimated to put staking yields at 10% or more based on current staked ETH amounts. Seems like a lot of people will be staking ETH at this time, meaning they're not going to be selling their ETH. Then throw in an issuance reduction of 90% plus continuous fee burning, making ETH deflationary. ETH is stupidly undervalued. ETH 10K is around the corner. Don't get left behind. I want to talk about altcoins. I want to talk about an epic alt season on the horizon. Before we get to that, let's take 60 seconds to thank our sponsor. Do you have the BlockFi credit card yet? Are you earning Bitcoin back on every purchase? This is so much better than getting fiat back on every purchase or airline miles back on every purchase. You can earn an unlimited 1.5% back in Bitcoin on every purchase with the BlockFi Rewards Visa Signature Credit Card. You can see if you're pre-approved with zero impact to your credit score. You can take advantage of this right now. Use the link in the description, blockfi.com/altcoin daily CC. So zero impact to your credit score. And in my opinion, BlockFi is leagues ahead of every other Bitcoin or crypto-backed credit card. Because no annual fee, no foreign transaction fees, huge bonus in the first 3 months, and bonus in perpetuity forever if you make large purchases, and again, zero impact to your credit score. I like this card. Many people in our audience love the Bitcoin-backed credit card. Why wouldn't you apply for this? Why wouldn't you get this? Be part of the conversation. This gets the chicks. This gets the chicks. I'll be honest with you guys. And if you're a chick, this gets the dudes for sure. Anyways, blockfi.com/altcoin daily CC. Use the link in the description. Let's talk about altcoins. Chainlink plans to launch on Solana Mainnet beta in Q4. We continue to see all these chains just becoming interoperable with each other. This is great for Chainlink. This is good for Solana. Win-win. Let's talk about alt season, but first, I guess TLDR of, the highly skilled and known Bob Lucas cycle trader. Either way, new all-time high looks in the cards before the end of October. So he's looking at the 60-day Bitcoin cycle within a 4-year cycle, day 26, consolidating the early 60-day cycle gains. In theory, we need to spend about 3 to 5 days consolidating around these levels, or a good dip first. This will complete the first half of the 60-day cycle uptrend. Either way, new all-time highs look in the cards before the end of October. This is what we're talking about, people. Every time the Bitcoin bull run topped, every time we've either had, it starts when Bitcoin breaks past all-time highs, and then we often see the end of it happen when Bitcoin tops, finds a local high. The altcoin market always goes absolutely crazy. So if we're breaking above all-time highs with Bitcoin, eventually, whether it's a month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 9 months from now, Bitcoin's going to have a new high, and altcoins should go absolutely crazy. I'm cheering for an epic alt season. Let me know what you're buying. Let me know what you're buying or selling, or what your strategy is in the comments below. We're in consolidation mode. Maybe we'll see a little dip. Ethereum and Bitcoin both look ready to pop. That being said, hey, great way to start the week. Subscribe to the channel. Big news today with Grayscale. Big news today with Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'll see you tomorrow.